Hello, boys and girls, and all you college graduates looking for a job. Welcome to Module 9 of Life Launch. We're going to concentrate on onboarding and positioning yourself to get your first promotion. Onboarding is that process by which you, the new hire, becomes a member of the team. So if you're offered a range of start times, pick the first one because you want to show some enthusiasm to get started. People that delay their start date are not considered enthusiastic. So that's step one. Next, when you join any organization, I want you to get the lay of the land a little bit before you kind of become best friends forever with somebody. I'll give you a kind of a warning. Usually there's somebody around that doesn't have any pals that may latch onto you as a new hire. And I'm going to warn you, be a little judicious before you pick who's going to be your pals at this new place that you're working. Next, let's talk about acculturation. There's a difference between learning the rules and learning what people do. It's important to know the rules, where to park, how to turn in a pay stub or a pay report, but that's very different from learning how to act. You want to pay careful attention to how people act in the organization, the ones who are popular, the ones who are going to get promoted, the ones that are thought well of. Model your behavior on theirs. If they dress a certain way, you mimic that. If they walk fast, you walk fast. If they walk slow, you walk slow. If they sit up, you sit up. If they're all casual, then you be all casual too. And that's my hottest tip for you, is to come into the organization, identify with the people who are going to go places in that organization. So let me introduce a concept you call work styles. Your job as a new hire is to figure out your work style and how it meshes with your boss's work style. So what does that mean? Your boss may want to hear from you once a day. They might want to hear from you many times per day. They might not want to hear from you except every couple of days. That's kind of the simple version of this. But it's also, what is it they want to know from you? What do they want to get? What's the work product of your work? So I want you to imagine the boss is the pilot of an airplane, and she can't see out the windows. The only way she can fly the airplane is to read the gauges. As an employee, you're a gauge. Your job is to give the right information to the boss at the right time so that she can fly the plane successfully to the destination using the least amount of fuel and making the most profit for the airline. So that's the way to think about your job. Figure out what information flow, the right amount, the right information that she wants. And the only way to find out is to sit down and talk to her about work styles. What's my product that you want? How often do you want it? Do you want to see drafts or just final copies? Can I come to you for advice? How often can I come for you for advice? You negotiate all of that, and that will get you started in the right direction. Now, there's something that's really important. This is really important. FaceTime for new hires is how you build your reputation. So even if they give you a kind of flex hours concept and say, hey, come anytime you want, I want you to hear me. Come early and stay late and show some FaceTime. Your boss needs to see you. Other people need to see you. They need to know that you come in early. And coming in early counts more than staying late. So I'm going to encourage you, even if you're not normally a morning person, drink that coffee and show up on time. Let's do it, folks. That's how you build a reputation. And if they offer you some kind of telecommute opportunity, new hires should not do that in the first year. If you're not there, you don't count. You don't get that chance for that informal coaching that you get when you can meet people at the water cooler or step into their office and say, hey, I got a quick question. So my hottest advice for you is, in the first year, be ridiculous about showing some FaceTime. So one of my hobbies is interviewing recruiters about what they don't like about new hires. And I got this fantastic story from this guy. He said he hired this young college graduate, and the college graduate folded up the job description and put it in his back pocket. And every time he wanted to do, he wanted that guy to do something, he said the student would pull out that job description and unfold it and say, where in here would that assignment fall? And if it didn't fall in the job description, he would try to refuse to do it. He was very unpopular. Don't be like that. Be a team player. And you know, when you're new, you got to pay a little dues. If somebody's got to copy 130 portfolios for a client presentation, it's going to be the new person. If you're the new person, don't whine, just make the photocopies. Come on. Whiners actually don't get promoted. I used to have somebody who worked for me, intellectually brilliant, but when she got off the elevator and people heard her as she walked down the hall, they would literally get up from their desk and close their office door to keep from interacting with her. And the reason is because she was a whiner. Don't be the source of that constant, oh, I just didn't get a break, things didn't go well. Don't be like that. Business is great, people are wonderful. That's kind of a concept I learned in my first position. It was taught to me by the sales manager. So I want you to adopt that principle. Business is great, people are wonderful. I could give you an example from a trade show I went to. When I went to the trade show, we were in the back 40. Nobody could find us. It was a huge building and we were all in the corner. We didn't have much traffic. Our neighbors were duds and we got busted for selling books without a sales license in that state. Now that's what happened. I came back and said it was a great trade show. We sold all of our products, but not everybody wanted to take them right away, so we have to ship some of them. That was because we quit giving them the books. So we'll ship them for free later. And I said, and we were the most popular people in our area of the trade show. Now, all of those reports are true. The first set is true, and the second set is true. Be somebody that has the positive point of view, because it really identifies you with a winning character. So that brings me to my next point, which is, how do you build a reputation over time? And one of the ways is you have to keep track of your wins. Every time something goes well, I want you to run to your computer and write it down. Don't let people catch you doing this because it will seem a little weird. But carefully record all of your wins. So when you come up for review, you can go back and say, all the way for the prior 12 months, this is the stuff I've been doing, this has been working out well. Now, what I'm about to say is a little bit controversial. If you're on a team, you want to differentiate your contributions to the win. But if you're the leader of the team, you want to praise the team as a whole, because everything that your team did belongs to you if you're the leader. But if you're on the team, you have to kind of work sometimes to differentiate yourself. That's kind of a very big tip. Don't tell anyone I told you this. So let's talk about how you get known. Your boss is your main constituent, so you want to make sure your boss is happy with you. But you also want to make sure that other people in the organization know about you. So how do you get news about you and your accomplishments higher up the ladder? Well, there's some rules. You need to know them. The biggest rule in career management inside an organization is never go over your boss's head without her permission. That is a huge mistake, so don't do it. But here's how you do it. Okay. If you're going to do it, one of the secret ways to send news upstairs that no one will complain about is to send praise reports. If you're praising somebody's performance, whether it's your boss or a colleague or even somebody at a hotel, it doesn't matter. People will not complain about you going CC one level up. That's a secret way to get news. I call it the Trojan horse for getting news about your wins to other people in the organization. So that's one thing. Next, let's talk about boundary spanning assignments. Boundary spanning assignments give you access to people that are not in your normal reporting chain. So that would be corporate training, sales events, client meetings, client pitches, service delivery, but also those weird little things that people don't ever think about, like the United Way campaign. Sometimes people think, oh, that's really a distracting assignment with no gain. That's not true. That gives you a chance to talk to everybody in the company, everybody on your floor. Being the fire safety or the safety coordinator for your floor, that's another great assignment. Gives you an excuse to talk to everybody. Those are called boundary spanning assignments, and they let you get your word out to people that you're normally not supposed to be talking to. Now, as a kind of a warning, business parties also fall in this category. But be really careful. Business parties are business events. They're not really parties. So either don't drink at all or drink extremely lightly, show up early, shake a few hands, and then leave early before things get out of hand. That's my recommendation. Now let's talk about positioning yourself for a promotion. This is really critical. If your boss does not know that you want promoted, he'll pass you over. It doesn't mean he doesn't think you're doing a great job. He just doesn't know you want more authority, more assignment, more a challenge. So you need to have what's called the conversation. This is when you go and you sit down with your boss and you tell him what you want. So somewhere between 3 months in and 6 months in, go sit down with your boss and say, hey boss, I really like this company and I really love my assignments and I think I'm doing pretty well here. I just want to know, what would I need to do to be the person you would think of first the next time a stretch assignment comes up or a promotion? So what would I need to do? What would I need to learn? Or what would I need to establish about myself so that you would be comfortable thinking of me first? That's called the conversation. And until you have that conversation, you're not a player. So your first opportunity to be promoted, it often involves a fairly negative assignment. Your boss wants you to do something no one else wants to do. So we're going to send you to lower dusty nowhere, and we want you to clean up a mess the company has made. Or we want you to go to some outpost where it's 20 below outside for 3 months of the year. My hot tip to you is take it, because early career success is compounded throughout your whole career. So a little suffering early on leads you to that sipping cafe lattes in San Francisco in about 10 years. So suffer now and you'll be a winner later. That's my hot advice. And I want to give you kind of a warning. Technology companies have what's called a 1 turn down rule, and regular industrial companies have a 2 turn down rule. If you turn down an assignment in a technology company, you're toast, you're over. You will never be offered another chance. And if you turn it down 2 opportunities, 2 promotions, for whatever reason, for an organization that's not a technology company, you're toast, you're over. So really think this through. Early success is compounded. Take the assignment, suffer a little bit, and have a breakout in your career. So this is Module 9 of LifeLaunch. It's the last module in our first way that we filmed this. So I hope that you'll persevere, complete every module, take the quiz, look at the secondary and supporting materials, look at the books, and get the badge, because that badge can go on your resume. So you are someone who's completed the career development curriculum, LifeLaunch career development curriculum, that can go on your resume. So I hope this has been useful to you. This is just kind of 101, Career Launch 101. There's so much more to learn. I hope that you'll spend some time advancing your career and pursue some training in this over the times, because it can result in massively different outcomes for you. If you've made it to Module 9, the back of it, I'm proud of you. I want to wish you the very best. I know you're going to go out there and get them. Thank you.